Okay, hi everyone, welcome back to another video. The weather in Cirencester is still pretty bad at the moment, lots of cloud, lots of rain, and I haven't been able to get out in the garden and set up the telescope for nearly a month now. So I thought I would put together a quick video looking at my top 5 deep space astrophotos from 2020. Now I've only been taking deep space astrophotos for about a year, or started in February just before lockdown, and this behind me was my very first image that I took. So this doesn't make the top 5 because there are numerous things wrong with this image, but I still love this photo. So when I saw Andromeda pop up on the back of my camera, my Sony a7 III for the first time, I was instantly hooked, and I kind of jumped into the hobby headfirst throughout lockdown and throughout the rest of the year. And as you've seen in my videos, I've since upgraded to a telescope, to an Astro camera. So I just wanted to go through some of my favourite photos that I've managed to capture this year. Okay, so coming in at number 5, we have Bode and Cigar Galaxy. Now, this was taken with my Sony a7 III with the big Skywatcher 1000mm focal length telescope. This is 62 3.5 minute exposures stacked together, edited in PixInsight and Lightroom and Photoshop, just like all of my photos are. And these two galaxies are both found in the constellation Ursa Major. Now, the figures always blow my mind when talking about distances, but these two galaxies are approximately 11.8 million light years away. So the light that hit my camera sensor left this object 11.8 million years ago, which still blows my mind when I think about it. But I love this photo. It's the only broadband target, or the only broadband object that makes my list, my top 5. The rest are narrowband images. But I just love the detail that you see in both of the galaxies, and I love how they both just look like they're floating there in space, right next to each other. So really happy with this image. Still not technically perfect. There's still a little bit of haloing, and the stars aren't amazing if you do zoom in, but pretty happy to get this quite early on, back in March or April time. Okay, so the next target is the Cave Nebula. This comes in at number 4 on my list. I love this photo, and it's obviously completely different to the last one. It's a narrowband image taken using the HA, S2 and O3 filters. So this is stacked and processed using the Hubble palette, as most of my narrowband images are, and I just love the details in the object. I love the details that narrowband imaging allows you to pull out and allows you to see in the object. This is one of my longest images to date, so it's about 14, just over 14 hours worth of 7-minute images stacked together and edited in post. It's, as I mentioned, of the Cave Nebula, which can be found in Cepheus. It's approximately 2,400 light years away, so a lot closer than the Bode and Cigar galaxies, but still crazy distances when you think about it. Okay, my next image coming in at number 3 is the Wizard Nebula. Now, I love this image, and I can definitely see the wizard in this image here. Some people I show it to can't actually pick out the image, the wizard, but I can definitely see the wizard's head, the face, and what I see is like a wizard's hand stretched out there. But again, this is another narrowband image taken using the narrowband filters, the HA, O3 and S2, and processed using the Hubble palette. Now, this is again approximately 13-14 hours worth of images stacked and edited, and it's not perfect. There are quite a few errors and quite a few problems with some of the stars. I'm still really new to the editing game. I still don't know how to fully utilize PixInsight and how to process images properly, but I think some of the processing I've done has added a few artifacts in the corners especially. But I do really like this image. It's one of my top 5. Okay, so coming in at number 2, we have the Pac-Man Nebula. Now, this is a nebula found in Cassiopeia, about 9,200 light years away. This one doesn't have as much data as the previous Wizard Nebula or the Cave Nebula before it, but somehow, for some reason, I've obviously processed this slightly better. Again, I don't really know how, but it looks a little bit smoother, it looks a little bit cleaner than the previous one. But Yeah, I love this image. I love the color. I love the vibrance of the blue, and I love the colors around the edges as well. And the detail in the center core of the dark nebula just really pops and really just looks great. I also processed this with StarNet in PixInsight. So this is where you remove all of the stars from the image, and I really love this. I think I prefer this image without the stars compared to it with. Now, when I shared it online, most people preferred with the stars. In fact, I'd say about 90 to 95% of people said that they preferred the stars in the image. My personal preference is without the stars, and I might edit a few more of my images using StarNet in the future. But yeah, this image I'm really happy with. So coming in first place, and my favourite deep space astrophoto taken this year, is the Elephant's Trunk Nebula. Now, this was one of the first, in fact I think it was the first narrowband image that I took, and I absolutely love this image. This image also made its way into the national press. So I got a couple of my images published in a couple of the national newspapers. So this is the Daily Mail, and I was also in the Daily Express. And this image got a full page spread, which I was really pleased with. But I just love the detail in this, and it almost looks like quite a spooky image. It's about 8 hours worth of data. So this was taken in the middle of the summer when the nights were quite short, so couldn't get a huge amount of data on it. I wanted to move on to other targets, but this is about 8 hours worth of HA03 and S2 data. Yeah, just absolutely love this image. So just wanted to do a quick video showing some of my top 5 deep space astrophotos. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know which one you preferred. And yeah, thank you very much for subscribing and watching these videos. I do really appreciate it. If you liked it, please hit the like button. That does really help. And I will see you in the next one.